Good morning, everybody. Thank you for visiting us in Valencia. I have a special profile compared with all the rest of the speakers. I've been manufacturing and selling boxes for most of my professional career. So actually, my first job in corrugated packaging was with Saika as plant manager here in Valencia. So I want to thank Saika for giving me the opportunity to live here. One of my sons was born in Valencia. And since then, almost 20 years ago, I have been always based here in Valencia. Then Saika is here, and my second and longest professional experience in corrugated was with D. Smith. So I want to thank you also, D. Smith, for giving me that opportunity. Not here, I was in France, rainy weather there, and then in Morocco. So finally, I want to thank you also, Grupo La Plana, that gave, now with Kento, the opportunity to install our first machine. So my idea is to share with you the vision of Kento about the past, the present, and the future of digital or inkjet in the corrugated industry. So let's start about the past. The first machine, the first digital machine printing on corrugated board, when I'm talking about digital machines, I'm always talking about single pass machines, so high capacity machines, okay? I'm not talking about multi-pass plotters, because these for me are considered like sample production machines. I'm talking about millions of square meters, okay? The first machine installed was manufactured by Bobst Group. For those who don't know the industry well, Bobst is a Swiss company that is the leader worldwide manufacturing equipment for corrugated packaging. This machine was installed in Switzerland 10 years ago, something like that. And this can be considered as the biggest failure in Bob's history ever, okay? They sold one machine. That's it. This machine has been dismounted 1 year ago by Model Group in Switzerland. So after 10 years, less than 200 single-pass printers have been installed worldwide. Remember, yesterday our friends from Ithaca were talking about ceramics, inkjet printing on ceramics. For several years, they have been installed several thousand machines in ceramic industry. So let's talk a little bit about what is happening today. Around 250 billion square meters are printed every year on corrugated. So half of Spain could be covered with corrugated boards every year. Corrugated industry is like 20 times bigger on printed surface than ceramics. And today, around 0.3% of total corrugated production is digitally printed. 0.3%. I wouldn't consider that a success story after 10 years. Remember, in 10 years, in ceramic industry, 95% of all tiles were digitally printed. Why? Let me talk a little bit about my vision on which are the barriers slowing down the digital printing on corrugated. The first and most important for me is the cost of ink, of digital ink. Average cost of a box can be around 50 cents, let's say. Flexo ink, no more than 2 cents per box. If you go and you print the same box using inkjet technology, the cost of ink will be around 10 times higher, like 20 cents. That makes very difficult to sell a box when digital ink has so much impact on the total cost of a corrugated board. Okay? First reason, cost of ink. Second reason, converting in line. So a box, to produce a box, you need to print it. Well, you produce the board first in the corrugator, then you print and die cut or fold or glue, okay? 80% of what we could consider low-cost boxes is a very competitive industry. So if you have higher costs, you don't sell. You don't sell a box. 80% of the total production of corrugated are rotary die-cut or die-cut boxes and RSC or American boxes. 80%. All this production, everything, must be converted in line. So printing and converting, die-cutting, gluing, folding, creasing, in one pass. If you do that in two passes, you cannot sell. You are too expensive. Okay? And the other 20%, are what we consider high-quality boxes. Okay? Basically, high graphics. Half of that, 10%, is also converted in line. And the other half, other 10%, is converting offline. It's basically pre-print, you print on the paper, litholam, you print offset, and then lamination, and then converting, or die-cutting machines that print in offline in 2 steps. Okay? Digital, it's only an option for this last 10%. Third reason, CapEx. The average price of a converting printing equipment, analog, flexo machines, basically, for corrugated is 1.5 million euro, something like that. The average selling price of a single pass printer, it's 3.5, 4 million euro. So very few companies can afford 4 million investment. So 3 reasons. Cost of ink, for me, the most important. Second, converting in line. Third, CapEx, the amount you need to buy a single pass printer. So how do we in Kento see the future of digital printing in corrugated? First, we need to reduce the cost of printing. And the way to do that is hybrid printing for us. So what we are doing is combining flexo and digital. So the most difficult to do and the most expensive to do with flexo is high graphics. Printing these kind of images with flexo, it's very costly, very expensive plates, okay? And the most difficult for digital and costly is solid colors. So we print with flexo solid colors or white inks or metallic inks, and we print with digital high graphics to reduce the total cost of printing. So we bridge the gap between full digital and flexo printing or analog printing. Okay? So we can cover much bigger space, not only very short runs, but also mid-size runs, up to 5,000, and in some countries, like in the US, where plates are more expensive, we can even reach the 10,000 square meters part of the market. Second reason, second way to overcome the barrier of converting in line. In the future, all digital presses will convert in line. Okay? In this case, what we are proposing is die-cutting in line. We are installing the first die-cutting module in our machine in Wisconsin during this year. Okay? So printing flexo, printing digital, and die-cutting. Box finish in one pass. Final barrier, CapEx. What we are proposing, our machine is totally modular machine. different modules for different applications. What we are proposing is the capacity to start with a low entry machine, like this in the bottom, okay? Just a feeder, a flexo unit, and a digital press. Always hybrid. If you don't keep that as a constant, it's impossible to sell boxes, okay? So, and the machine, since it's modular, it's scalable, so the customer can add in the future new modules to reach a machine like that. For example, 3-color flexo, priming unit, overprint varnish unit, and automatic stacker. Okay, with this, we kill the last barrier, CapEx, because we can start, everyone can afford a machine around 2 million euro. Okay? So let's see the machine running. Thank you very much.